Hey guys, Justin Buseth here. Welcome to another episode of Self-Educated. Yesterday we talked about knowing when to keep pushing into something and not give up, and also knowing when to walk away from something and the differences. And sometimes it's hard to find the balance in a situation. Like when is something costing me too much? Am I spending too much time on it? Is it not yielding anything? And am I calling it quits? Like too early? Am I quitting because something's too hard or difficult? Am I quitting for good reasons? When is a good reason to quit? When is a good time? When should enough be enough? And so here's just some tips and some advice on it. So we'll call it strategic withdrawal. Strategic withdrawal, because this is different from quitting because I don't want to do it no more. I'm tired. It's too hard. I got a boo boo. This is more like planning out strategic, like adding up the cost of everything, and then deciding afterwards, after careful analysis and evaluation, like, okay, this is out. Like the pros are outweighing the cons. Oh no, wait, the cons are outweighing the pros of the situation. So one thing strategic withdrawal you would need is self-awareness, right? And this is the ability, and this aspect of self-awareness is the ability to look at a situation and decide if the actions that you're putting into it are having a fulfilling outcome or not. Despite significant effort, are you making any advancements in whatever it is that you're doing? And if not, it may be time to reassess. So that kind of self-awareness of yourself, a self-appraisal, if you will. Take stock, take inventory. Signs of harm. If you or your loved ones notice that you're experiencing burnout, if this goal or whatever you set your mind to is causing more stress and anxiety, depression, is it affecting your mood and your ability to enjoy life and family and other things, right? Is it costing you financial harm? Is it more draining on you in any aspect of your life more than it is you reaching the goal that you're trying to get? And if so, it's time to reassess. Next, lack of alignment with values. Sometimes we work on something for a long time. Some of us have some long-term goals. And sometimes these goals lose relevancy, right? Maybe our values shift in life. And now things that were important at the beginning of something don't seem to be as important towards the end or in the middle of it. And if something is no longer in line with what you want or what you value or where the direction you decide you're headed to in life is, it may be time to reassess if it's still worth. Next is realistic and objective assessment. This is where you break it down. This is the money, the resources, the time you're spending into it. Is it worth what it's costing you? And even if you were to obtain the goal, is all the time that you have spent on it thus far and all the energy you spent on it thus far even worth it? And if not, this is also a good one to bring others in on too. Others, because sometimes we have such an emotional attachment to things. Sometimes we're so deep into something, we can't see objectively on the outside looking in. Because people on the outside looking in can be like, wow, that needs to stop. That needs to stop. And we're in it I'm almost there, I think. I see a light at the end of the tunnel. So sometimes we bring others in, and a multitude of counselors, right? Then our thoughts and our decisions can be established. Next, this is the times it might be okay to do strategic withdrawal. And I got when the cost outweighs the benefit. If the cost is outweighing the potential benefit or the benefits received thus far, it is time to do a strategic withdrawal. If it is affecting your well-being, like we said up here, if it is causing you harm emotionally, physically, is it damaging your relationship with your loved ones? Is other areas of your life not getting the attention and the stuff that they deserve because all of it is focused into this one thing, which has not yielded any fruitful success thus yet? Time to strategic withdrawal. And the goal is no longer relevant. When the goal is no longer relevant, it might be time to strategic withdrawal. I just want to recommend a few things. These are 3 things I found that maybe can keep us stuck and hanging on to something that we should have let go of a long time ago. And that energy could have been spent better off in different endeavors or pursuits, which might have been successful by now, but we've clung on to this one thing. And these are some things within us that I find. Guilt and doubt. Sometimes we feel guilty for quitting or giving up on something, like we've let others down or ourselves down, or maybe there's other people who are had their chips in on that dream or on that goal, and us pulling away or saying, it's time. We feel guilt towards just letting people down, disappointing people, and the doubt sometimes of is this the right decision? Is it not the right decision? What ifs? What ifs? What if I would have kept going? What if sometimes you just need to make the decision, especially when you get words from others and you feel it within yourself. Sometimes we have that gut feeling, right? And it's we know it's time, but then our hearts are torn too, right? So sometimes you gotta just push aside the doubt and the guilt and do what's good for you in the long run too. That's true. I was trying to say, it sucks to let others down, hurt others too, but if they can see if you can see it, most likely they can see it too. Pride. A lot of us don't want to quit sometimes because of our pride. Because basically, us quitting or giving up on something says, "Wow, what we think is our own strength and our own efforts, our own brilliance wasn't able to get us there. So now it looks like we make it look in our heads. It's so much worse than it is. We feel like we're saying to the world I didn't have what it takes. I didn't have it in me to finish it, to get there." And that pride will hold us no, I can. I'll keep pushing through. Fuck the relationships. Oh, screw all this. Damn it, full speed ahead. Let's get it. And then just the wreckage that we leave in our past and the weight is just ridiculous because of our pride holding on to something we should let go of. And then last one's fear. And this could be a fear of failure, a fear of not looking good enough, a fear of losing, right? A fear of admitting defeat, maybe. But this is not defeat. It's a strategic withdrawal. Sometimes it's not a never. It's just a not right now. At this time in life, can you reach this? When you can go away, do some training and whatnot, come back like Rocky 2. Get it, So fear. And then fear of others' judgment, man. I'll tell you what. I'll leave off with this. There was a time back when I was homeless and everything, back in the day. And I remember somebody coming up to me and saying something, kind of paraphrasing, but basically that I was a scum, that he knew my family and that I would always be how I was, screwed off and stuff. And, I shrugged it off, but it hurt. I felt it deeply. To say that I didn't is not true, but I felt it deeply. And it hurt, man. But it sucks too because he was right. The situation I was in life, I was pretty much scum. I was a dirtbag. And so that was hurt even worse. The fact that was true. But anyways, fast forward, I got my stuff together, right? Got a year sober, was working in treatment, helping other people get sober, really doing the deal. And then he came up and he's the same guy came up and was man, I always knew you would do it. I always knew you had the potential in you. I always knew you could, blah, blah, blah. Basically, kissing, just giving me praise all of a sudden. I was okay, bro, cool, thank you. Maybe it was true, maybe it wasn't. But then I relapsed not too long after that. And he came back and had something more to say. And again, it was with I always knew you were gonna, you couldn't hold it together as a scum, And it's just funny because some people are just like that. People are always gonna have something to say to you. Whether you start a dream, quit a dream, give up on something, pursue something, people are always gonna have something to say. And honestly, some people you just can't please. Some people are just, no matter what you do, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And that's just the way it is in life. Even when you're as lovable and adorable as me, there's still going to be people who are have something to say regardless. So at the end of the day, you got to do what's healthy and good for you and the loved ones close to you. So that's all I got to say. Hope you can find the balance sometimes between holding on and keep pushing, and sometimes just to let go and find something better. So, love you guys. Have a great night. Bye.